Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the locker room. There's a lot of big games we have in our life, and there's some games you can legally say what the game is, and there's other ones you can't. We don't know in this type of situation, so we're going to refer to this one as the big game. The big game. A lot of big games. This is the biggest game. Philadelphia Eagles versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Will Compton has done it to himself again. He has jinxed himself. The Chiefs might be going after a three-peat, but the run game of the Philadelphia Eagles, we are breaking down the AFC Championship. We are breaking down the NFC Championship, maybe even a little whiteboard talk. As always, we have Will Compton, we have Delanie Walker, and the man, the myth, the legend, the finger, Brian Baldinger, joins us today. It is going to be a hell of a time. Big hugs, tiny kisses. Let's have a hell of a show.
Welcome to the locker room. We are presented by Fireball Whiskey. So many things make football great, but you know what the best thing is? Kicking the living shit out of your rival. And there's absolutely no better feeling as an athlete or fan. And Fireball Whiskey is here to give you the spark to ignite that rivalry all season long. Grab your football buddy, buy a round, and reignite that rivalry flame. Championship weekend, boys. Baldy Breakdowns, welcome to the locker room.
Thank you, man.
Welcome to the show.
Legend.
It's good to be here, man. Good day to be here.
There is nothing
Championship
better.
Sunday.
There's nothing better as a player on a Tuesday or Wednesday afternoon, getting done with practice, going on the Twitter, seeing one of your
Really?
Let me tell you something about 77 here. Let me tell you, watch the leg drive. And anytime you would highlight
Every
me,
week.
Delaney was on there.
Every week.
If I ever got blessed with a Baldy breakdown, I would sit there and go home, show my wife, hey, you see your boys fucking kind of him,
You know what's
right?
funny about that, though?
Kinda him.
You know what that's interesting to me about that, what you just said is, like, you guys are getting all of that in your own film room. All the guys know. Your teammates all know. Some fans might know, probably not, though. Nobody's really getting inside the game, right, to that level. But you would think that just the organization behind you, Derrick Henry going 99 behind you, you would think that would be enough. But sometimes you just need a little bit more verification.
A little bit of a
It's a public recognition.
And because every player falls victims to go into that search bar, typing their name in the Twitter, and then just getting absolutely assaulted by either your fans or opponents' fans. As an offensive lineman, you sit there and it's like, the whole thing about offensive linemen is you want to be seen, not heard.
Right.
And so the only time your name should really be brought up is when you mess up. So when there's a guy like you, you go in the film room, coaches can pat you on the ass a little bit depending on the type of coach you have, say, hey, this is a great play right here. And all the boys are like, Comp had a good game. Delanie, he played well. But when a guy like you who's been around the game, who has the following and stuff like that, pulls it up, there is like a level of like, damn, maybe I am really doing something right. It's a great feeling.
It's that old belief that all shit runs downhill, right? And it just rolls right into the offensive line lap.
Yeah.
Like I feel like sometimes you got to fight that. Also, defensive lineman too, Delanie. I feel like it all kind of goes into the trenches, good or bad. Usually it's bad.
Yeah. Usually it is bad.
And you give a lot of context with the player you're talking about too, to where the coach ain't going to sit there and do that for you in front of all the players. They got to keep you humble.
No.
You know that.
Yeah.
Like when you're doing 2 and 3 a day, you're going to have a coach just talk
what's funny about that,
from
Will?
Duke, look at the physicality here from Baldy. One day your name's going to be Baldy Breakdowns. Guys, everybody watch this guy in the trenches.
You know what's funny about that though, Will? The coaches come up to me. Like I do games every Sunday for national radio, so I'll get some of the assistant coaches, defensive line coaches, hey, I want to let you know, like the linebacker coach from the Chiefs, because I give those guys so much credit, because they're big. Leo Chenal, Drew Tranquil, Nick Bolton. And they play 3 linebackers, like more than any other team in this whole league. Yeah. Like they can't get them off the field. And hey, I just want to let you know that, Leo really appreciates the things you say about him. Like people just think he's just a big meathead out there, can't run. But you kind of highlight some of the things he can do.
Yeah.
They want you to do it. They want you to be the one to vocalize the Kansas City Chiefs defense. Because they're not going to go out publicly.
No, definitely not. Why would they?
Yeah. I mean, Kansas City's defense has been keeping them in games all year.
All year.
16
2 years in a row.
16-0 in one-score games.
Yeah.
That has a lot to do with the defense. But everybody wants to talk about Patrick Mahomes.
Right.
So you need a crusader like yourself.
There you go.
To pave the way for the defense.
Yeah. I'll take it.
Yeah.
Is that the game we want to start with, Chiefs?
Dude, that game was the most interesting to me. So I kind of want to let's get the NFC out of the way. Let's get it out of the way.
People said that
start to
AFC
finish
game was Super Bowl already. That was
because you get to see Josh Allen, you get to see Patrick Mahomes, the Chiefs, the Bills.
And everybody
Bills
going
trying
into
to go
that
for
game.
the first Super Bowl of all time.
Everybody going into that game is like the winner of this AFC Championship is probably going to win the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl, correctly.
And then you watch the NFC Championship game, and if you don't know that the Commanders, they're they're last in all the statistic categories of defense, being in the rushing category, it's like, yo, the Eagles might have a chance.
Yeah.
But then you have Spags on the other side that you're like, yo, this guy's going to put up the perfect game plan
defense
to eliminate the run game and have Hurts beat you with his arm.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's go NFC Championship first.
All right.
Obviously, Commanders fell.
Yeah, I mean, to me, they were playing with house money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They were playing like they've made it far. They exceeded expectations this year. You look at when they upset the Detroit Lions in Detroit. Everybody's fired up for them. Oh, could they muster up some magic and beat the Eagles? But that game went when they gave up over 50 points, a 50-burger to Philly. It's kind of like, their luck kind of just ran out. Mm-hmm. You would have appreciated seeing a Detroit Lions team a little bit more in the NFC Championship because they're overall a better roster and a better outfit. Yeah. It's like, you're bummed. You're bummed that Washington couldn't pull off an upset, but at the end of the day, it's like they were already exceeding expectations. Like, it sucks, but they have so much optimism to look forward to.
When you get to each level, you go up in the playoffs. Now you're at the championship level. Before, you were at the divisional level, right? Like, Detroit's defense got exposed big time, right?
Yeah.
Now, it didn't help that the offense turned it over 5 times, and they constantly got in field position and a touchdown. But, so you go up to the championship level, and you just realize the Eagles' defense is just that good. You can look at all the stats and say they're good, but then you watch them play. Zach Bond doesn't miss a tackle.
He is freaking brilliant. And not only doesn't miss a tackle, he trusts his instincts. Like, just watching him as a second-level player and watching him pull his trigger and not stop his feet, going into the backfield and make plays. Yeah. Your confidence, your trust has to be at a different level.
But what I'm going to ask you, Will, is so Zach Bond's in New Orleans for 4 years. They can't really figure out how to play him. They got DeMario Davis. They've got Warner. They got different guys. But he's just sitting there as like a reserve special teams guy. And for whatever reason, the Eagles say, let's give this guy a shot. Like, all these Wisconsin linebackers can flat out play, all of them, right? And they all been trained the right way, trained inside, outside. You go through the whole league. They're all good players. This kid from day one in Philly fixed that position. It's unbelievable.
He's a Pro Bowler.
Yeah.
Did he make the All-Pro?
Yeah.
See All-Pro?
Yeah. I think he made All-Pro.
Remember Chris
too.
Borland?
Yeah. Yeah, there we go.
Talk about playing inside and outside. He had that little spin.
1 year, he had
some head issues.
I mean, he had head issues. I mean, God, nothing you can do about that when you got concussions constantly occurring. And
there's no doubt that.
But I'm saying, it's like what could have been.
Well, he would have been.
No, I mean, Herbig, T.J. Watt, LaChanel. You just go through all these guys.
Yeah. So and then the 2 exciting whites too. I mean, they're
they made some plays. And they was making plays.
Is a baller. Ryan Blankenship is. Cooper DeJean is a baller.
They was making plays.
That defense
and Quinyon Mitchell.
Oh yeah.
It's one of those things where you turn on the film with the Philadelphia Eagles, and at the end of every play, the opponent's offensive play, you see 10 or 11 guys in the screen. Like, they are always there running to the ball. They're destroying people. Their defensive line is elite. Who's Jalen Carter?
Jalen Carter.
His ability to put pressure in the middle of the offensive line and bring pressure up to the quarterback, there's no way to step into your throw. So these guys on the edges are able just to run the hoop every single time and catch that quarterback at 9.5, 10, 11 yards. And it is just, it's a ticking time bomb every single time.
They have, like, this is the most unbelievable stat for their 3-game run so far to the Super Bowl, is they've got 10 takeaways. They haven't turned, they're plus 10 in their turnover ratio in 3 games.
It's unbelievable.
Like, it's crazy. Like, they're just punching the ball out.
Yeah.
2 weeks in a row. I mean, everybody practices it. Like, I know everybody team practices it. They preach it. They talk about it. But, like, you're just watching yesterday, Zach Bond punch it out. You're watching Oren Burks punching it out. Same thing last week, Jalen Carter to Kyron Williams with the Rams.
Do you think there's anything the Commanders could have done to win that game?
You just can't turn the ball over.
I mean, they had 4 turnovers.
Yeah,
stop the
they're
run
just
game.
turning the ball because they're
but they can't stop the run. So it's like, okay, if you know the Commanders can't stop the run, they're going to do that the entire game. They have Austin Eckler. He catches the ball, catches a knee.
They had bad matchups. Really,
bad matchup all over the
they
place.
went out and got Lattimore. And Marshawn's been a good player for a long time, but he's not the same guy that he once was when he was making Pro Bowls. In New Orleans, he tries to match up with A.J. Brown. He can't do it.
And you can't be making dumb mistakes too.
You can't make stupid mistakes.
Like A.J. Brown, I mean, that was a masterclass of chess with AJ.
Just being
able to bait him, get his head, all of a sudden he gives him a big push, hands go up, flag goes the other way.
I thought the big thing was the question. I live in Philly, so I hear this. it's nonstop, right? Jalen can't read a defense. Jalen can't do this. Like, it's just noise to him. He's actually pretty good about blocking it all out. But, he had a great day yesterday. A great day. He doesn't turn the ball over. He does not put the ball in harm's way.
Nope.
Will not throw the ball in the middle into some zone coverage right now. He got burned early in the year, won't do it. So he'll take a sack. He'll throw it away. But his decision-making is – and then yesterday, A.J. went off. Like they couldn't stop him yesterday.
Well, you put a guy one-on-one with a single high safety, and AJ, the guy's pressed on AJ Brown. It's like, I'm going to throw it up to AJ.
Oh, every
Let him
time.
go do his thing real quick.
Well, you remember AJ?
Physicality.
Like
Unbelievable.
I'm just going to ask you, because like Vrabel said, I'm never trading him.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
I'm never trading this guy.
Fast
He's a
forward
beast.
3 months.
It
It
And I
wasn't
think he's-
Vrabel.
But I think he's even better now.
Yeah,
I think he's even because I think he's even stronger than he used to be. And he's just as explosive as he's ever been.
His stature alone.
Yeah.
He
Physically.
plays the way he looks. A lot of guys say it looks like Tarzan, plays like Jane. He looks like Tarzan, plays like
Yeah, he
Tarzan.
does.
Like,
And he worked hard in the
He
He's a
works
hard
hard.
worker.
I mean, it goes back
God.
to the first play. I kind of drew it up. We don't have to go into it, but it is 19 truck. It's a pin pull scheme.
Yep.
Well, he was
And
on
the number
point.
one block
He
on
was
that
the
is the point man, and that's AJ. Usually, you're going to put your Y in that position to block down on a defensive end. That's how much trust they have on AJ to block. Knowing AJ is like an edge rusher. He wants sacks.
And
He
he's
wants the
blocking
ball.
Dante
He wants
Fowler on the
touchdown.
play.
Yeah,
Exactly.
And Fowler spins and he
Spins
stays
out.
in front of him.
Keeps his feet, keeps his hips,
Yes.
and then brings him in the
If
line.
you don't pin
which
him,
ends
if you
up-
don't
Cause
pin
the
him,
chaos.
everything else just gets washed.
It gets washed. Saquon has to go back
Yep.
into the middle, and
He
then
can't get to the alley.
because Dante Fowler spins out of that, and AJ is able to use his hips and his feet and drive him at a 45-degree angle. That's why Bobby Wagner gets caught up in the fray.
hit him.
Because they run that play later. It's a 4 or 5 yard play.
Yes.
But Wagner and Luvu don't get caught up
Right.
in all the mess.
Yep.
He's able to do that. Like, that's such a key block that no one's really going to talk about. But that says a lot about AJ because he
definitely.
is. And then a quarter later, he hits a go ball, catches a nice little 30-yarder. Then he gets Sam
touchdown.
Still
He gets the
touchdown.
touchdown.
And then he's baiting guys into it. It's like that. Like, I don't know exactly what AJ Brown's stats were, but whatever his stats were, he played better than his stats showed.
Yeah,
Even
he
if
had like 6
100
catches for
6
90.
catches,
Yeah, I mean,
96 yards, and a touchdown.
If he had 150, he played like he had 170.
But even when he was reading a book on the sideline,
which
right?
is hilarious.
Which
Which
is
is
unbelievable,
hilarious.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, I've never seen it. I don't know, Will, you guys have seen
no, I don't
anything
think
like that.
anybody's ever seen
But
that.
even when he's reading a book on the sideline, the guy's still making unbelievable blocks.
Yeah.
Like, he's not getting the ball. They're not throwing it to him, but he's still blocking his ass off.
yeah,
Yeah, that was the first time I've ever seen that.
first time ever. In
Ever.
excellence.
But have you ever brought a prop to a game before? Just
Hell,
a prop.
No,
And
Delanie
again,
would
it's a
wear like
prop.
during Halloween. You would wear like
Okay.
Halloween masks.
Yeah,
and stuff
I
like
wear
that.
like Halloween masks and stuff, but I don't know if I'm gonna be like, pull this book out.
Right.
Just sitting right there and then just casually.
Knowing that the camera's on.
With the leg
Knowing the
crossed.
camera's on you.
Like a
Knowing
book.
the cameras
Yeah.
are on. I mean, yeah, but good for him because
Good for
there's
him.
going to be something about that. I mean, the
He got to
whole,
meet
the
the
whole-
writer.
the production of the show is like inner excellence, and then they go in this whole spin-off of
The
Philly
funny thing
excellence.
is,
and how they run
the
ball,
funny
all
thing, the
that.
page that he's got, it's all highlighted.
Yeah,
He's got the highlighted pen out there. It's
Yeah.
all highlighted. It
Just-
cracked
you
me
need to
up.
make sure and get back to this way, back to the house this evening after the big ball game. Like, it is wild.
He didn't give me the vibe
You,
that he
uh,
was a reader.
You brought up Vrabel. I think when we go to media days, I think a good question for AJ when he's sitting at the booth is, do you credit your success to John Robinson for trading you?
Did you ask him that?
No, I think we should ask
Oh,
him. 'Cause we'll be at the
I was
Super Bowl
about to
next
say.
week. I mean, that trade, Traylon Burks, they trade for the 18th pick. They give AJ Brown. They take Traylon Burks 18 overall. And no disrespect to Traylon, he's got all the tools and everything. I'm not sure he's had a couple of injuries and stuff like that. But the reality is he and I have the same amount of touchdowns in the NFL right now. And so that's tough.
Yeah,
Well,
It's a tough
the thing
play.
that's interesting about that moment in time is this is where the Eagles are just better than everybody else. They make the trade, they do the compensation, and they give him a contract, all in like literally the same moment.
One fail swoop, one
Like
breath.
the Tennessee couldn't figure out how to give him the extension. That's all he wanted, right?
Yeah.
Like all players. So they get the trade, the compensation, and the contract done all at once.
Which is wild. They couldn't figure out the compensation on the Titans end because you pay a quarterback,
Yeah.
but you're not paying. The quarterback had a $100 million contract, not a $300 million contract.
Right.
Like you could move a whole bunch of stuff around. I know if they called me and they're like, "Hey Taylor, could we just front pay
Sure.
you
Get
now
AJ.
and make minimum?" I'm like, "Hell yeah,
You know how
absolutely."
to unravel with AJ though, like he just got lowballed at first.
Well,
so it was
and he
more
took
like,
it personal.
He
Yeah,
took
it
it
was a
personal.
personal.
He didn't
Yeah.
want to be here. Let's just be honest.
But the other thing is, all these other receivers are getting paid.
Yeah.
So he's like, it's just, it really, you just fall in line. Like they all got paid, all of them. So AJ's just like, okay, what about my bag?
Yeah.
Well, I think they looked at Derrick Henry as the horse. So it was
The
like
horse, but still didn't pay him very much.
they didn't.
The shitty thing for Derek is he got caught up in that running backs are dead.
Yeah.
That one
Hopefully that
year
changes
period.
here.
I think it's over. I mean, you see
The
Saquon,
market
you see
hopefully
Derek.
takes a jump because
The
these
market
teams
is
that
going
went,
to go nuts.
Every
now.
one of
Josh
those guys,
Jacobs,
that
Saquon,
the whole
Derrick.
carousel, every one of them.
Yeah.
Aaron Jones,
Step Chubb.
Yep, Josh Jacobs,
Jacobs.
Derrick Henry, like all those guys went somewhere else and have had massive success.
And
Killed
we've
it.
seen like the comeback of the run game.
Yeah.
Like all these teams. I mean, I know Kansas City still comes out of the tunnel throwing it, but the Eagles ran it 57% of the time.
Yeah.
Like, you got Saquon, it helps, but still, like Baltimore, Detroit, all these teams are running it far more than they're throwing it.
I know.
Were you
Gibbs
guys
is up
surprised?
next.
Were you guys surprised that Washington didn't go for it on that opening drive on 4th down?
Yeah, I mean, go for it 2 times
I
in a
mean,
row.
if you went twice already, why you just don't go for the last one just to get it done?
It seems like they were caught in like, okay, we're going to be
limbo.
gutsy, we're going to be ballsy, which they've gone for on 4th down more than any other team in the
Yeah.
NFL. They do it 2 times in one drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if they think to themselves like, Dan Quinn's like, all right, our luck's probably ran out here. Let's take the points. We're in a favorable.
And he's probably
position.
thinking too, we'll be able to do this all game. Like if Washington was going to win that game, they're going to have to do it kind of the way they beat the Lions, like kind of stay up in points and everything else because their defense clearly wasn't going to be able to stop the Eagles.
Clearly.
Well, I think that's the point, Will, is if you hand it off to Saquon on the play that you're talking about behind us for 60 yards in the first play, you're like, this might be a long day.
Yeah.
We better score touchdowns.
Yeah.
Field goals aren't going to get it done.
Right. Yeah. So you're saying if the Eagles had the first drive as opposed to the
Yeah.
Commanders.
Right.
Yeah,
They're
absolutely.
probably going
Well,
for
you
it.
see them start to panic around the 3rd or 4th drive that they had. They go with 3 and out, and you're like, man, this is about to get out of hand. And they run the fake punt.
Tressway.
Backed
The
up on
fake
the
punt.
20 yard line.
Tressway.
They got
Just
me.
crazy.
Bro, Tressway.
They do. I started looking at my phone. I hear something screaming. Like, oh, shit. Okay.
Tressway is one of those cats. He's a punter, but he's the most athletic guy in
It's
the
a
locker
great
room.
throw, Will.
When you're
Yeah,
when you're
it was a
playing
great
when you're
throw. Up
playing
high, too.
Puts it over the
volleyball in the
defender.
backyard,
Yeah.
when you're playing wiffle ball, he's the
Right.
best ping pong player I've
Is
ever
this the
seen.
kid that was at the Chargers?
No, that's Dustin Hopkins.
No. But there was a guy, I thought he was at the Chargers when we went there for their training camp. You were like, I play with this guy at the Redskins. He's good at everything.
That's Dustin Hopkins.
Okay.
But he was second. He was underneath Tressway. Tressway is a dog. His wife was an All-American softball player at University of Oklahoma. They have brothers. I'm talking pitchers. They got like Tressway's got it. When he made that play, he's not even worried about that throw. Like that
No,
was
he
so easy to
wasn't.
him. He's probably grinning when he's throwing the ball. He's such an athlete.
He's
Shout
like
out to boy
that.
Hey, he hit
I'm
it.
telling you, bro. He's athletic
Sound like
at
McAfee
everything.
talking about a punter right now.
He's so juiced up.
No doubt. No doubt.
Hey, this guy, he didn't even sweat. Didn't even think about it. He said,
Like,
okay,
you
good.
see that-
Finally, people
you
get to
see
see
that
what I
diamond,
do.
you're like,
almost-
he's fucking
you almost
right, he's
couldn't-
gonna make that throw.
You almost couldn't wait to throw it.
He
Like,
couldn't
you're
wait to
supposed
throw
to
it.
kind of carry out a little bit of your punt action.
Yeah.
He was like, I got this, man.
And you know, every weekend the special teams
Oh, yeah.
coaches ask him, hey, you think you're going to be good? He's just like, dog, just let
Just
me
throw.
He's thinking,
Just
shut the
I'm
fuck
telling
up.
you.
Just
that
go
was just like
sling this thing
just
real
a
quick.
perfect high pass
Nice
to where
little-
you want it.
Yeah.
The thing that's funny about that play is,
Psychotic.
huh?
It's psychotic.
Well, it is.
Well, Massive stones to make
didn't
that
know
call
it was
backed
coming.
up.
They did not know it was coming. Them boys
But
were.
little
yeah.
Trotter
Randy
was
Marsh
covering
with
him on
his
the play.
ball sack and a
Little Trotter, he
wheelbarrow.
was covering me. He as soon as he went by him, he knew like he started looking back
He
for the
started
ball.
looking for the ball. He did. As soon as he beat him, he was like, throw it now.
I love, based off everything Will said, that backup tight end was shitting himself.
Oh, he
compared to
was
the punter who
shitting
like, I'm not going
himself.
to sling this motherfucker
It's
out
gonna
here.
be-
This ain't nothing to
But to
me.
make noise with this.
But yeah, going just the Commanders. Amazing year for them.
Yep.
The turnaround they've had. We've talked about it in the show a couple times, but all the stuff with the head office, the owner, they end up selling the team and going and making it to the NFC Championship. Like they were playing with house money. They didn't have the defense to get it done this year.
But they got the quarterback. Like you get the quarterback.
Right.
There's never, even when this was a 12-team league, there wasn't enough good quarterbacks.
Right.
And so like they got the quarterback, and like he fixes everything. The run game, you get a backup right guard in there. You know, like it doesn't matter. Like they had a rookie left tackle this year. If there's breakdowns of protection, he covers for him. If it's 4th down, he runs for it. He extends it. Like you see, McLaurin's been in this league for 6 years. He's never had a year like this. Never. Like he set a record for touchdowns by Commander.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw something on Instagram, and
don't
I'll
play
probably
like a
have to
rookie.
work through this, but like all these mobile quarterbacks now are able to run because of that Cam Newton, Tim Tebow era, where it was like not everyone was still so used to the Tom Brady, Peyton Manning of the statue quarterback.
Yeah.
And these guys come in, like Tim Tebow obviously didn't work out in the NFL, but he had Johnny Manziel as well, like that kind of era of
Yeah.
like, hey, let's get Andrew Luck, get these guys They can show a little mobility. They can do a little bit more than just throwing the football. Now you're seeing all like these Jaden Daniels, Lamars, the Patrick Mahomeses, the Josh Allens. Like they lean a lot on their offense on their legs as opposed to just their arm.
Well, the NFL can only take what the college game gives you. So the college game is giving you these guys. They're not giving you Tom Brady anymore. Like that guy isn't in college. They're putting their best athletes at quarterback.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. And then the other thing is just talking to guys around the league, because of these guys are just so lethal as soon as they break the pocket. Like it's changing the way you rush the passer. I think you're getting a lot more cage rushing now.
Yeah.
Like you watch Chris Jones rush, like he could probably win on the edge a lot more than, but like they're content, Jalen Carter, these guys are content right now, Delanie, to like literally walk their man and try and keep that guy in the pocket and contain rush rather than the quick swims or the quick escapes. Sometimes, you get the stunts that are working, to get the guys there. But I think we're seeing a difference in the way defensive linemen are rushing.
Yeah, and I think that's a good transition to go to the AFC Championship game because a lot of these bigger plays, Patrick Mahomes did one or two reads and he sees big holes in the A, B, or C gap and kind of wiggled his way through there. We'll get big chunk plays out of that. Like, we all know that Patrick Mahomes can be a little bit lethal with the ball in his hands running it. Why aren't teams cage rushing similarly like they do the Baltimore Ravens or the Eagles?
Well, what's
or
interesting
the
yesterday, Taylor, is that in the first game that they won, they spied Mahomes. And in that game, he didn't have one run. Like they spied him. Dorian Williams, Terrell Bernard. Yesterday, they didn't spy him at all. And as soon as he knows you don't have a guy that can chase him, like he takes off with it when he sees it.
Right.
And he got all those first downs and two rushing touchdowns.
Two rushing touchdowns. And also, like, you bring up, like, every team runs the ball a whole lot except for the Chiefs. Like, the Chiefs are using their short pass game as their run game. As their run game. They do
That's
such
basic
a great
West
job
Coast
of it.
offense. Andy Reid.
Kareem Hunt does a hell of a job.
Hell of a job. But even in the middle part of that game,
Kareem
like
Hunt,
the second quarter, third, and even in the fourth, like Kareem Hunt, he started to get stopped a little bit. Pacheco was kind of not even around that game until those last couple of plays in the 4 minute. Like a lot of those chunks that were taken out, aside from that first quarter and the second half of the second quarter, was Mahomes getting out of the pocket, running, making it, dancing a little bit, and getting the two rushing touchdowns.
Yeah. Did you think, like the Bills in that third quarter, they just started running the ball, like right down the field?
That drive that they had, they only had one throw.
One throw, right? 8 runs, and they ran for the touchdown. Did you think like they were taking over the game at that point?
At that point, I did.
I did. I think, you start to impose your will the way they did, I thought. And it wasn't like exotic type of runs. It was zone. It was mid-zone. It was hand the ball off. There was nothing creative about it. They were just taking their physicality against the Chiefs' physicality, and they were handling business.
That drive that they had almost tells you that they should have started off. Like, they did such a good job throughout the year. It's like last week when they played Baltimore, Josh Allen only threw for like 180, and they were great on the ground. They've had such a good bounce attack all year long. They come out those first 2 drives, and Josh is trying to sling it, and you can tell whether it's nerves, moment. He's having some lackluster
you can
throws.
see in his eyes.
He's fumbling the snap.
Yep.
But if you're running the football the way that the Buffalo could run the football this year with Joe Brady as the OC, like you can tell on that third quarter drive, they got away from that in the first quarter. They should have probably established it in the beginning of the game, like they've kind of done all year long.
I agree with
Their
you.
first
I agree
2
with that
drives were the same way. They ran it on first down. They got 3-4 yards. The second drive, they ran it on first down, got 3-4 yards. Then they threw it 2 separate times after that. But you could see the pressure mounting in Josh Allen's head those first couple of drives and didn't allow him to settle down. They were trying to take chunk plays.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I know, I'm excited to see if the Chiefs can do a 3-peat. I'm gutted for the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
I want it for the Bills. I want it for Josh Allen. He's been on the
Fan
bus.
base.
He's an awesome cat. He's like a dude's dude type of dude. Where
He's
you're
the
like,
best.
man, I really just want him to get over this hump because I think they can really get it done if they can just get past the Chiefs. But you can see it that he's wearing all that pressure, all that weight on his shoulders. Like the whole week leading up, the mainstream media, us were like, hey, who has more pressure? Chiefs to 3-peat or the Bills to beat the Chiefs?
Yeah.
And everyone's kind of leaning going, hey, Bills versus the Chiefs. That's the thing. And you see it in his face.
Yeah.
So if you're able to just get a couple of throws out, even if it's like a bubble screen, get the ball out of your hand. How does it feel slinging a little bit and when
They got
bullets are flying?
They were real. They got stuffed on that 4th and 1. It just killed them.
Talking about in the third quarter.
Yeah.
The third?
Yeah.
The one that was controversial?
Yeah.
Yeah,
but,
it was.
But that was a first down.
but so
That was a first down.
So it's weird, Will. So a couple years ago, I remember we were having a seminar back when the Eagles first started their whole, tush-push thing, right? So should they outlaw it? Should they keep it, right? So they said, well, I asked the official, like my prayer, I said, how do you officiate this play? Because it seems like the whistle never blows. And they said, like on that play, he started going sideways. They said as soon as they start going sideways and you're not going forward, the whistle should blow. They should stop the momentum. And so he did start because he kind of went through the left guard hole there, kind of moved it, and then he started getting pushed. Chris Jones, the guys started pushing him. But I don't know. Like I don't know how they get that play right sometimes.
With the Buffalo Bills, they suck at running that tush push.
Yeah, they're not good.
They don't suck at it. The Chiefs looked at him and Spags goes, hey, every single time he's going to take the snap, he's going to take a shuffle to the left, and he's going to go up the middle.
But either way,
look at the defense. The defense has, the majority of their guys gapping out A, B, and C on the left side.
Yeah.
It's like they knew what he was going to do.
But the Eagles get like
They
three
just go.
guys
they
back
run it up
there
their ass in a 4-minute wedge block. It's
a wedge block.
The
That's
two blocks are
different.
different.
Yeah,
The two
That's what I'm
plays are
saying. The
different.
Bills suck at running it. They have their one running back there to push him. He doesn't even really push him. Josh just tries like going to the left and do it in himself.
But
the Eagles got like three guys behind him. Trying
It's
to
like
shove
a weird
this
victory
dude forward.
formation. It's like a tight victory formation.
Yeah, wedge, and then they run dual. Like the Bills almost run dual.
They do duo.
You know
And
what I'm
then
saying?
the
They
one
try to
time,
double team.
The one time Josh went up and
Eagles.
over and he freaking fumbled. That's why you don't go up and over.
Yeah, that's
I don't even know if he got it back or not. The ball was out.
They ended
before
up
he
getting
came
the ball
down.
back on that one. But you guys
But
don't
the thing
think so.
about that-
You're saying he got stuff. You're saying it wasn't a first down.
I'm saying that call could have gone either way. Whatever it was called in the field, it should have stood. They called it it was turnover. It stood as a turnover.
Did you not see those referees running like
Yeah.
having the
Right,
first
they were
down marker,
all-
and then they go backwards a little
to
bit?
get out of the way of a
He
player?
said he
One
got
guy-
pushed sideways. Once he got pushed
But
sideways,
bro,
I
they
know.
were both
no.
saying. One guy was saying it was a first
I
down.
know.
One
I saw
guy's
that.
running on. There's no question. Like they came in opposite.
Yeah, they came.
One was
came in
one
like
was
this.
on the line or
One
over the
was-
line. The other one was inside the line.
Yeah.
The one that was on the line over the line that would have given the first down. Chiefs player in the way. He has to move around that. And when he reestablishes his walk, he's in a completely different spot. I get it. I understand that. But
I'm just saying
I don't think
the entire year of the Chiefs, this team could get away with murder with referees.
True. That's where I'm sitting back. I'm going, let's pump the brakes because I agree. The entire year, the Chiefs have had calls go their way 99 out of 100 times. Pretty much every single time.
You know what
the Chiefs can do it. Hey,
game?
point.
So
This game, if I were to say, hey, you're going to be one for 5 on third down, on short yardage third down, you're going to go 0 for 2 in 2-point conversions.
Yeah.
You're going to have your first drive is going to be, you could have thrown 2 picks in 3 plays.
No doubt.
And the Chiefs had the most razor sharp first drive you've ever seen. If I were to tell you that without giving you context, which team is going to win?
Yeah.
The team that has a razor sharp first drive.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like the Bills were just like having massive chunk plays and then they were getting called back, or they would get
That's not
stops
that
on
at all,
third
but
down.
you murder a drive because that is a pivotal point in the game.
It's a pivotal point of the game.
Where they're in
but
their-
if you go
where they're
to
in
the
enemy
Bills
territory.
and that are in a pivotal point of the game when Josh Allen has that incredible throw, I can't remember the receiver's name. He makes a great catch.
Yep.
And a flag comes out. My first thought was, here we go, Chiefs stuff. That call was on the Chiefs defense.
Yeah, it was.
And so it's like it seemed like they were calling it equal, if not overcorrecting a little bit against the Chiefs, like we kind of talked about before. That's what
the one stat that still's out there, Taylor, I think it's correct too. In the 3 Super Bowl wins that the Chiefs have, they don't have one holding call. They don't have one holding call by any offensive lineman.
They had a bunch though
crazy.
against when they lost to Tampa Bay.
Yes, they did.
And then the one against the Eagles, where it was ticky-tack, and it's again, by the book, it's a correct call, but that little hold, that little grab, what was it, on Juju Smith-Schuster?
Yeah, right there.
When they kind of got him a couple years ago, that was extremely controversial. Like, it was a ticky-tack call, but also it's like, if you go by the book, that technically is a penalty.
That's a penalty.
It blows my mind, man, and here we are again.
Here we are again.
Here we are.
In 2
Oh my
weeks,
God!
unless there's a meteor, the Chiefs are probably going to be Super Bowl champions.
I don't know, bro.
I don't know.
I'm personally, I think I'm taking the Chiefs. I think I'm taking, but the Eagles, the way he was explaining it too, them defensively, like this is a different team. And if you look at the Chiefs, they've only scored over 30 points like 2 games this year. Last night was one of them. Like they don't have this high-powered offense like they've had in the past.
The one thing the Eagles eliminate is your quick game. Any hitches, any screens outside, there was an old saying, like you step up to clean it up, you back up, you give it up. Yeah. Like they're rookies, Quinion, Cooper DeJean, like it doesn't matter who it is. Like they attack all those plays.
Right.
And they attacked them yesterday. Like they didn't get anything off those quick screens.
You see
yesterday.
that play that Cooper DeJean made? It was either Cooper or Ryan. I can't tell with the whites out there. But they were in the bunch.
It's too blind.
Yeah.
Right,
It's too blind.
yeah.
But they were in that
They all look
bunch
alike.
and they throw a quick screen out to the outside.
Yes.
Cooper DeJean's the only guy on the point man, just kind of throws Crowder aside and makes the play in the back.
Well, that was a 2-point conversion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a
Was that
2-point. Yeah, it was 2-point conversion.
I
right
think
there
there was another one in the middle of the field.
Well, they
Midfield
might-
where he makes a play
He's
too,
so-
where he's just
but-
by
Is that the
himself.
one
Was it when they
Eckler's,
got the
fumble?
fumble? It was the fumble
Was that
one,
Eckler's
right?
fumble?
Because
Yeah.
The
Eckler's fumble. Yeah,
And
Eckler's
then
fumble.
the announcers go, well, he is known for having little hands. I'm thinking, oh, man.
Oh
don't kick
my
the ball.
God.
Yeah.
No, they
That is
didn't,
brutal. Yeah,
bro.
they go, Eckler's always had a trouble with receiving because his hands.
But
he's
if
known for having
Crowder,
small
if the receiver
hands.
Crowder just blocks or gets in the way of Cooper
I
DeJean,
know,
they have
they
a play
have
because
a play.
Cooper is just by himself down there
Right.
and makes a play by himself.
Right. Exciting
Yeah.
whites.
They got a
man. They're
defense,
doing
man.
it.
They have a defense.
They have a
and
defense.
Saquon
They-
Barkley, bro.
they-
and that
that-
offensive
yeah.
line, incredible.
That Vic Fangio, he lines up in a 2-deep shell every play.
Yeah.
And then you don't know what they're doing until the snap. Like,
Yeah.
he just keeps you guessing.
Right.
He's not going to give you anything away.
That's the most exciting thing watching football now is the chess game going
Yes.
on between two coordinators.
Two
No
good
doubt.
ones.
Yes.
Two
I agree
good
with
You
ones.
see it a lot
I
too.
totally agree.
The Eagles did it a lot, and in the AFC Championship, you could see them kind of look over to the side. You see the shell, and they're going and they're checking plays. They're coming back. They're reloading the play. Like that's a fun pre-snap thing to watch.
But that's you're going to get a lot of that Super Bowl Sunday. You'll have Spags here.
Yeah.
You have Kellen Moore. Like, they're going to be that's the chess match right there.
Yeah.
Spags, he's got the smallest play sheet.
Those sheets.
Like some people got a New Jersey, diner right there. They're calling plays from. Spags has a sheet that's like half of this right here. It's like, how many different pressures do you have on there?
yeah. Well, and to dial up that corner blitz
Oh.
on that fourth down
Yep.
Yeah.
for Josh Allen, who, by the way, put like hero throw. Like
Yeah, I know.
that should have been.
Hey, that's
complete.
one
Yeah.
thing that we're missing here is Kincaid should have caught that.
He
football.
should have
Kincaid
caught
should've
that ball. Oh my God.
You know what to do.
It's like when it
You
happened,
see-
you're like,
bro,
damn,
you
he
see his
kinda
face,
You
forced
see
it.
his reactions like,
I
he should have
know.
caught.
And once you watch the replay, you're like, oh, he should have
He
caught
should
the
have
ball.
caught it.
No
He should
doubt.
have caught
Because
it.
He
when
had
he
plenty
threw
of
it in the
time
air,
to,
I'm like,
like-
oh, that's a pick. That's
Yeah,
how,
I did too.
that's
I'm
not
like,
going in. I'm
oh,
like,
no.
holy shit.
I'm like, oh.
Now to go into, I don't think this game was a flag, was for the Chiefs from an NFL standpoint, the way we've been seeing it the entire year. But you did see in that play, Kincaid, he almost caught the ball and a flag came out and they picked up the flag.
Yeah, they picked it up because if he
But
would
did we know what the flag was?
It was just in case.
If he caught it, they
Chiefs were going to the
push
Super
off.
Bowl
That's
no
the
matter
conspiracy
what.
theory behind it.
Chiefs were going to the Super Bowl
you're
no
right.
matter what.
As soon as he didn't catch it, they wiped it off.
Yeah, let's pick this
it
up.
ain't
Oh, he dropped
it
it? My bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Is
it
that
was
the,
kind
is
of
that the Taylor Swift effect?
Yeah.
I think it's
that
the
is?
Taylor
They
Swift.
gotta
It's
go.
the Mahomes effect. It's the Andy Reid
I
effect.
think last year's a
You know how
big
much
T Swift
money they
effect.
made?
This year, I feel like it's more a three-peat effect.
Yeah.
You know how many people gonna go to the game if Chiefs going? You know how many fans are about to be at the game again? Like Las Vegas.
Probably
What
the
was-
same as last year.
No,
We
Las
sold out.
Vegas was like 11. They made 11 billion in one day, bro. And Las
They should
Vegas
just put it in Vegas every year.
every year.
Hell
Do
with
you
that.
guys agree? Do you guys
Yeah,
think?
Vegas, man.
Do you guys think this this matchup is kind of the worst one for viewership?
Yeah, well, we talked about it last week.
Why?
Well, just fatigue.
Because you just got the Chiefs and you got the Eagles. It's like twice in 3 years?
Twice
right?
in 3 years.
Yeah, but fan base crazy. Both
Well, if the
teams.
Bills were there, if the Bills did
Bills
get there,
were
it
there,
would.
bro.
It
I
would
mean,
change.
Hey,
it'll
you
be
put up-
different. It'll be different.
You put up that map for America, and it's like who's cheering for who, and it'll be like Chiefs red, Eagles are green, and then like gray is just like the
rest.
whoever else. It's literally like Chiefs, where the Chiefs are, the Eagles, and then everybody else is like we don't really care.
Yeah.
Like you would have
Yeah.
loved to see the Bills. In this
Everybody
game. You
would have loved to see the
Commanders.
Bills.
If
and
you saw
Commanders.
Bills
Love to see
Commanders,
Bills Commanders.
Oh,
it'd have been like,
Oh my gosh.
we'd be sitting there
Because
going, hey, what's
going
going to
off the
happen?
Bills in the early 90s when they went to 4 Super Bowls in a row, the continued story of that is
Sure. Oh, yeah.
every team they lost to was from the NFC East. So the Bills would have been playing an NFC East
That
team.
is sick. I did not know that.
Yeah, they lost to Dallas twice, Washington,
Yeah.
and then was Dallas the third?
Was
They
it-
lost to Dallas
Because
back-to-back
Dallas
Super
went
Bowls.
to the Super Bowl a lot in the 90s.
Yes, but Dallas
Did
won
the
back-to-back
Giants
Super
go?
Bowls. Then the Redskins beat them in Minnesota that year,
Yep.
and then I forget who their fourth defeat was.
Did the Giants
Was it the Giants?
go in the early 90s?
No,
You got LT. Just saying, hey, you got LT. They probably won
they
a
went.
Super
Yeah,
Bowl.
yeah, they went 1990.
Yeah.
The Giants won. Yeah,
Okay,
that's right.
so
Down in
the Giants,
Tampa.
yeah.
Yep, that was the first one.
Yeah, heartbroken for the Bills, man.
Yeah.
Heartbroken Bills. Happy for the Commanders in a completely different sense. But they got smiles on their faces this morning while they're getting the trash bags out in the locker room.
Yeah, I mean, you got Jaden Daniels there.
Yeah. I mean, the only person, Bobby Wagner, I feel bad for him because he might
He could be done.
He
could
probably
be done.
he probably be done, or he not. He won't be with.
He
the
got one,
Commanders.
though. He got two, right?
Yeah,
He
he got one with Seattle.
with Seattle. Yeah.
Oh, did he get
one.
one with the Rams?
I was just thinking
Oh,
that, but I
did you
think
get that?
they didn't go that year.
Wait, did he?
No.
No, I don't think so.
That was last year. Yeah.
That was last year.
Yeah, I don't think so.
But yeah, man, both great. I mean, not both great games. That AFC Championship was
good.
it? Let me tell you. Let me ask you this: when was it the Bills ran a play, and then someone challenged it? Well, no, the Chiefs ran a play. Then they ran another play, and then they decided to challenge the previous
After
play.
the snap?
Oh yeah, after the snap.
After the snap.
Yeah.
What? Yeah,
I didn't understand.
I didn't understand that at all. That's the rule.
Was
You
there a
get the
penalty
ball.
on that play? Because if there was a penalty on the play, then the play doesn't count.
So that was the play that Worthy came down.
Yes.
It was like
Was it-
equal
was
ball.
it catch, no catch?
Came down. Ball ends up touching, but it was defensive holding. On whoever's covering Kelsey. I think it was DeMar Hamlin.
Yes.
So
You're right.
They run another play. I believe it's incomplete or it's a touchdown. I can't remember the result.
And
of the
Buffalo
second play,
challenges.
But Buffalo challenges whether
Yes.
it was an interception or not.
Right.
But it's like it doesn't matter. It would have been a penalty either way. You're getting a new set of downs regardless. It was a very weird sequence of events. Do you recognize that?
No, I saw
I
your
must
tweet.
have- I
I saw
must-
your
yeah.
tweet, but I wasn't.
that catch was unbelievable, though.
Unbelievable.
Maybe Worthy catch is
But
unbelievable.
was that a catch? Ball hit the ground.
Did it hit the ground?
Yeah. When they show the tip of the ball hits the ground, and Worthy's got one hand on it, and then the defensive player has two hands on it.
I forget. Baldy could be compromised.
What do you mean?
He's with the NFL Network.
What that
He
mean?
might have to say like, "Oh yeah, I think
No.
Yeah, he's got the he's got an earpiece of Goodell in there.
I
I just
Oh,
can't.
yeah, you're right. It was a catch. I'm with you, brother.
Refs are working for the Chiefs, right? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just a fan right here, Will. I'm questioning the same things, man.
So you think obviously Philly has the recipe to beat the Chiefs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So you think
I said on a podcast before the playoffs started that the Eagles would go 4-0 in the postseason.
really,
Like I thought they were just better in the trenches than everybody.
that is
They
the
do
thing.
have hogs.
Like just
Really,
look at
some
this. Like
dogs.
their center has got a bad back. All right.
Juergens.
Who knows? Juergens got one of these. Like he's probably going to get an operation. I don't know. But it's bad. So he doesn't play. So now they move the left guard to center.
Landon
Right.
Dickerson.
Then he gets hurt. Like he's limping. He's on one leg. He can't even stand up. Right. So now they got to put Juergens back in the game. You're playing a second-year left guard. And, like this stuff has been going on throughout the year. Like nothing matters. Like they just still keep like most offensive lines. If they lose a guy or two guys, like they fall apart.
Shambles.
Yeah, a lot of times, usually your sixth guy is an adequate football player,
Yes.
but you lose a lot of, I don't want to be disrespectful because I know a lot of 7th and 8th guys, but like that 7th and 8th guy on your offensive line is like, we got to get through a game with this guy. We
Yeah.
got to get through a game. But it seems like the Eagles can just kind of keep him coming
Well,
in
they
no matter
took
what.
Mekhi Becton, right? Who's been 3 injury-marred years with the Jets.
Yeah, a bit of a bust.
All of that. He's never played guard in his life. Nobody ever asked him to play guard. Didn't know if he could play guard. He goes in there. The guy's he's a Pro Bowl guard to me. Like I haven't seen nobody beats him, and his power is like unmatched in his business.
He's a different type of human being. Yeah, you're talking about trenches and run game, like what you need to win a championship on the offensive side of the ball. The Eagles have that over the Chiefs.
right
Yep.
now,
And
definitely.
if you had a quarterback who's not going to turn the ball over, and he doesn't have to be Superman to win the game.
Yeah.
So if
Give me
you
the
look at
Eagles.
if you look at Jalen Hurts,
Give me the
I'm
Eagles.
taking the
I'm betting
Eagles
everything
too,
I got on
man.
the Chiefs then.
I'll take it.
if you
Eagles too.
take Jalen Hurts out of that last Commander game, Week 16, where he got
When he
concussed,
got hurt, yeah.
he's 13-0 in that run. 13-0 since the bye week, and he's thrown 1 interception in those 13 games.
The Eagles.
You're going Chiefs, aren't you?
Well, I'm going to go Chiefs. But to argue against just for the sake of conversation, the Eagles seemed like they were playing that game knowing they were winning the game the whole entire time. The move with Juergens keeping him, he was there just in case of emergency.
And he goes in.
Yeah, he ends up going in. Landon Dickerson, he's like, he knows he's got to play to help Juergens out because in 2 weeks they go to the Super Bowl. Saquon Barkley, they pull him out at the right time. But all of Jalen Hurts' runs, a lot of times you see him lower the shoulder and fight for extra yards. Anytime the play was over for him, slide.
He's down.
It was a 1 yard
Super Bowl,
loss,
he's gonna be
2 yard.
healthy.
Yeah, and that's where you could see Philly having it. But Kellen Moore versus Spags, I would lean Spags.
It's hard to blitz the way Spags does if you're just running the ball down their throats.
That is true.
If you just stay with it. It kind of eliminates that.
And again, it's like
the Chiefs have the athletes on the
Yes, they do.
outside. They have the athletes on the outside to match up one-on-one with their receivers. And so you're able to load that box a little bit more.
Yeah.
But this is a different offensive line too. Like a lot of times, it's like you can almost overload one side, put Chris Jones by himself somewhere else, who are you going to match Chris Jones up against? Probably going to be somebody from the inside because it is going to be Lane Johnson, it's going to be Mailata. Like they have such a good
if I'm the
offensive
Chiefs,
front.
I'm going to tell Chris Jones, hey, you're not
Stay
playing
inside.
on the outside unless we're in these packages.
Yeah, stay on the inside.
But you're staying on the inside. You're rushing against those.
That's where he
interior
goes,
three.
though. He goes where he thinks he can win.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think he thinks he can beat Mulatto or Lane.
Right.
So he'll stay inside probably.
When was J.J. Watt the first person that started doing that, where he would kind of go down the line on the 5 and say, "Oh, hey, who's having a
Bruce
confidence
Smith,
issue
but
today?"
before that, Bruce Smith did that.
Bruce Smith did
Yeah,
that.
he'd got. I remember one time I had to go in and play center. I was in Indianapolis. We played him twice a year, and like the center got hurt, so I go from guard to center. And as soon as I get there, Bruce Smith comes to visit me. Like I'm snapping in a shotgun the first play, and Bruce is like cock nose on my snapping hand.
Yeah.
And I'm like, shit.
This motherfucker. Get back as fast as possible.
fuck outta here.
Quick pop in the middle of the forehead.
I'm
Get
like,
back
just
and
get
pray
the
to
ball
God.
back to the quarterback.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of pops on the forehead, Jalen Carter. Just
Oh my God.
I know.
And also just binking the the center in the eye.
Was that like WWE? Like just
Yeah, he gave him Captain
poke.
Insano.
He loses
ripped it
sometimes.
right in the
Insano.
middle.
He
And you know what?
loses
He's like, I'll
sometimes.
take the penalty.
Yeah.
And put the center down.
No problem. Kind of smiling
He's
to
so
himself.
violent, man.
Yeah, he
He's-
is.
He's
I showed a play
violent.
this morning. Like they had a play where they were going to wham him with the running back. He literally jumped
Jumps
over the wham.
over.
He jumped over the wham. Like
Yeah.
I've seen tackles do everything in this business lane. I haven't seen a tackle jump over a block like that. He's like in midair, like off the turnbuckle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wham
he
is
is a
the
monster.
dumbest play to me. I hate the Wham.
You hate Wham?
I think it's so
I
stupid.
love
get some
Wham.
sex.
I love
I know,
Wham.
but
Success with the Wham.
okay, my experience with the Wham is TFLs. It's always a
Oh,
tight
okay.
end or a fullback trying to slash the nose. They get banked and bounced off, and then
That was a big Belichick
Yeah.
play.
yeah,
back in
yeah.
the
And it
Patriots.
obviously
ran a lot
found
of
its way to the Titans. when
Eagles
Vrabel
too
came
when
in.
they went on that Super Bowl run.
Yeah.
They were big that year for the Wham.
San Fran ran it a lot
Yeah.
too when I was there.
I love power. I love counter. I love perimeter plays.
Yeah, but that wham, everybody has this play now, Taylor. I call it triple trap, double scoop. So you have the wham block, you have the guard block, and you have the tackle blocking out. So you get three traps, and then you have the two inside scoops on the linebackers. And like I just see this play getting busted and popped like left and right.
Always.
Yeah.
Right
There's
up
a
the
lot
middle.
of times too when you're in the zone scheme and you just have a tight end sift across.
Yes.
Your eyes as a backer, everybody's looking to go gap back,
Right.
gap back.
Yeah.
Just to
And then
cut
once
back.
people catch on, the whams start coming into
Yeah.
the equation
Yeah.
because it emulates the tight end going across and you're
Slicing.
stepping back to the other gap. But really against the wham, you have to go straight down the
Straight
hill
down
to
the hill.
beat that tackle. So
Well,
it's a tough play.
It
to
depends.
defend.
Ours depends who you wham and what technique they was in. That's that's what the Titans made it more difficult because we had to read the technique. We'll motion across and be like, okay, I got the 3. Now you got to wham that 3. But if he wasn't in the 3, you wham what
The nose.
the nose.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was like you had to know who to wham.
Yeah,
Right.
You know
And when
what
you're
I'm
in a motion going across, and sometimes when you motion, they bump. So
They
you never,
bump.
yeah.
So that used to throw you. I just would kind of wait to see who the line was gonna let free. And
I love teams.
Cub hit
I
him
love
on the
teams that
hip.
do basic things elite with a little bit of window
Yeah.
dressing.
Mm-hmm.
Couple
Yeah.
of motions,
Yeah.
slash a guy, but at the end of the day, you're running inside zone, you're running duo, dose, those types of things.
Yeah.
I that's awesome. It's also the world I grew up in,
Yeah.
where you're making basic things look a little bit more exotic, but at the end of the day, it's
Yeah.
this play.
Yeah.
That's the stuff that I like.
A lot of cheese out there in this world, man. A lot of cheese.
A lot
Can't
of
take
cheese.
it.
Yeah,
Can't
a lot
take
of
it.
cheese.
Big game. Where are you going?
Big game.
Chiefs favored by 1.5. The over-under on this game is 49.5.
I'm taking the Chiefs. I'm taking the Chiefs
We know you are.
because I want to see a three-peat.
Okay.
I love to
History.
see it. It's history.
History.
It's we walked into the AFC Championship and I said I want the Bills to win this game, and if the Bills don't win, I'm going for the Chiefs. So I'm going for the Chiefs. My worst case scenario was Chiefs Eagles.
Is the last three-peat in any sport, was it the Lakers?
Add.
Did Lakers win 3 championships in a row?
I'm not.
NBA guys.
If you're talking about
Add
Super
Reed.
Oh, ad. Yeah. Fireball. The Ballsy Pro pick of the week is sponsored by Fireball. Fireball is the perfect shot for game day, whether you're buying the sneaky little shooters before going into the stadium or going big with the Fireball cake for your tailgate. Whether it's a pre-game shot in the tailgate lot or a celebratory touchdown shot at the bar, no matter what, it's guaranteed to ignite your game day.
Another thing about the Chiefs too is I love a good story. I love storylines.
Yeah.
And the thought of Travis Kelce hanging it up after this game, achieving the first thing ever in the NFL history, that's special to me.
It's not gonna happen.
I mean, dude, he's got to retire.
He's not retiring after this year.
Yeah.
Why?
Why?
You look at Jason Kelsey.
You get a dynasty, bro. Like
You look at Jason Kelsey. Would
He out
you
there
say to
looking like
Jason,
us
hey,
running around
if you could
right
go
now.
back, would you play one less year and retire for the
Jason,
Super Bowl?
it's different with Jason. Jason was in them trenches. I feel like Kelsey still got a couple of more years in him.
couple
know
more
what I mean?
years.
yeah,
of-
he definitely feels a lot better than what Jason.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I'm
but
saying.
at the same time, he's got two receptions last game.
Be the only person.
He's
that-
not really like you could.
Yeah,
see
but he's
it.
got the record for
Will-
the most postseason touchdowns.
No
You know
doubt.
what
No,
I'm saying?
I'm saying he's a first ballot. He's like
Yeah,
the greatest tight end
yeah.
of all time. That's what I'm saying. He's achieved all of the things. Why not go out on a three-peat?
Well, yeah. I mean, I do think some people can stay at the party too long.
yeah.
And the fact that him and his brother got all these things set up, you know, production.
He's got $1 billion from Pfizer for the
does he?
COVID vaccine. I mean, in the commercial.
Yeah.
I mean, what are we talking
He's
about?
got so much,
You think
man.
money's an issue for the guy?
No,
He's
it's-
dating
I
the
mean-
biggest star in the world.
No,
Like,
I mean, he could just go be the next action hero, whatever they're going to do with him.
yeah. You've done it all, man. You've done it all. You've achieved it all. Like, why not
That's
go?
definitely a discussion we
Yeah.
got to have.
This game's got Eagles all over it.
Yeah.
And that's why we go Chiefs.
This game's got
Everyone
Eagles all over
watching, that's why you go Chiefs.
I never want to go. I shouldn't go
no, but
against the Chiefs.
Line of
but-
scrimmage, I like the Eagles. Defense, I like the Eagles. Running game, I like the Eagles. The only thing that is up for argument is really the quarterback position. They got Patrick Mahomes, but Jalen Hurts, again, to his point, 13 games, 1 interception. You got somebody who doesn't turn the ball over. You're not going to really stop Saquon Barkley in this rushing attack, in my opinion. Maybe they might. They do have a good run defense, but I just feel like you look at the perimeter players on the outside, Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, you got the
Goddard.
tight end, Goddard. Like, they just have so many weapons. Their roster's better. And I know, again, to me, you get caught up in the fascination of three-peat and everything else. This has got Eagles.
Who do you think the
is
biggest
the Eagles.
star of this game is? Do you think it's Mahomes or do you think it could be Saquon?
Saquon.
Saquon Barkley. And February 9th, guess
Saquon.
what? Saquon Barkley's birthday.
It's his
Oh,
birthday.
no
yeah,
kidding.
His
Yeah.
birthday. Yeah.
Was he turning tender age of what, 28?
He not born in 97. I saw the same thing. Born in 97.
97?
So whatever that is.
Okay, 28.
Yeah,
28 years old.
Yeah.
Wow, 28.
Still got it.
Young
I
buck.
mean, not just still got it.
Young
He's
buck,
peak.
bro.
I mean, with
They're
Travis,
having
what is
fun.
Travis
You
like?
just see it all over
32?
'em.
No, Travis is older than me. He's like
Yeah, no, he's like
35,
36.
30? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Who you got, Delanie?
Eagles. I know I shouldn't go against the Chiefs. I've said this multiple times, but again, I think the Eagles are the better team here.
You never bet against the champ until the champ gives you a
I
reason to bet
know.
against him.
Trust me. We say this every week. We
I
say
know.
this every
And what
week.
happens every week?
I lose.
Yeah.
But not
But
this
at some
week.
point-
So, at some point, it's
it's gonna
going
turn.
to
Hey,
it's
what
gonna
were the
turn.
records last week?
They not telling us.
Not good.
Okay.
I mean, it's
Because I think I handled business.
No, you probably hit one.
Didn't you go Bills and Eagles? So 1-1.
Yeah, it's 1-1.
Did I go that? I bet the Chiefs.
It's like we everybody kind of said the things of like, hey, three-peat. The Eagles. I was like, hey, the Eagles are probably going to win this game, but I'm rooting for the
Right,
Commanders. But
right.
I'm still 0-2.
And also, what I say in the regular season. Bills beat the Chiefs in regular season. What's new?
4-0. 4-0 in the regular
What
season.
they need to do next year, sit all their starters. Bills need to sit all their starters when
Don't
they play
win.
the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Lose.
Yeah.
You lose. You've now flipped the
You
script.
guys have the biggest omen for who's going to win this game right on the wall right there. I'm looking at Rocky.
Yeah.
Like it's Rocky's town, man.
There you go,
Like there
man.
you go. Rocky's right there.
There you go.
The parade's going
Here's
right up
another
the
omen.
steps.
Here's another omen. For the last 2.5 years, Will Compton said the Chiefs are dead. They're dead. They're always going to be dead. And has willed. I guarantee the Chiefs locker room, there's a picture of Will Compton somewhere with his old teeth. And they're like, this motherfucker is the reason why we're going to win the Super Bowl.
Drew Tranquil tweeted at me last night. Says Compton loves the Chiefs. He's going to be talking about us all week on Bussin With The Boys.
So there it is.
Because he goes there. For everybody saying the referees, yada yada, we stand on business. And I just put business, and it was just a penalty flag with business written on it.
Is that one of the greatest signings, though, the Chiefs signing Drew Tranquil?
Bro, he's been a stud.
He's been
man. From the
unbelievable.
Chargers. Because when he was on the Chargers, who was he with then? Who was the guy next to him?
Well, they had the guy from Kenneth Murray.
Kenneth Murray,
Yeah,
who's
Murray.
now with the Titans. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's had a hell of a dude. Bolton too.
Both
that
of
play
them.
that he made, like was it was it Kincaid or Knox? Where it's a good ball and it's over the middle, and Bolton just plays his arm. He catches the ball. Bolton plays it.
Neither one of them
Bolton's
ever come
been a
off the
stud,
field.
man.
They play every play.
Yeah, they have good backers.
They do.
And shout out Drew. Maybe next year on the all white team. That's probably where he's probably projecting because he was on the all white team.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He want to be, you said?
probably.
Chiefs, Eagles.
Eagles.
Yeah.
Yeah, Eagles. I just thought
Like where I
that.
stand.
But for good reason though, Taylor. Like honestly, like they're better in the trenches.
Mm-hmm.
That's where these games are won. Like they're just better. than the Chiefs are right there.
I don't disagree with anything
And
you're saying.
I know coaching
the offensive
matters.
line's better, the run game's
But
better.
you said Andy Reid, Nick Sirianni, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like there's certain things that definitely I don't think people are going to question. You know,
the game plan. You just
All game plan,
damn,
bro. On
Andy Reid.
defense, you got that great defense in Philly. It's all about, hey, when Xavier Worthy's in, whether he's lined up here, here's when he's motion, here's the big motion tendency. You always got to be aware of
Here's
who's in
the
game.
thing. You bring up that. Andy Reid's and the other thing saying when Xavier Worthy's here, they're going to think X, Y, and Z. So we're going to do it this way.
Andy Reid one
That's
of
just
the
what,
best.
dude.
Yeah.
Andy
Reid
Reid is a
Fair.
step above everybody
Yeah,
else. When it
he's
comes
And you
to
got
that.
2 weeks to prepare, so you have to do that
Right, it's kind of
self-scouting.
like when Alabama was relevant. It's like Nick Saban.
Yeah.
If he has a month to prepare for you, like that's
You
Yeah,
give
it's
him-
over
he's going to
with.
beat you.
you give him a pint of Haagen-Dazs and and let him burn the midnight oil.
Cheeseburger.
Like
cheeseburger.
cheeseburger, like that guy is tinkering like nobody else.
Yeah,
That's why all these
he'll be
guys
having doubles this
like
next
all
2
these
weeks.
guys that leave Andy Reid's nest on offense, like they're never really successful. Matt
Never.
Nagy, none of them.
Never.
Because none of them have the mind of Andy. Like there's never like most teams, they have a playbook. We work out of the playbook. We'll tinker a little bit. Andy's playbook, it's never ending.
Right. It's
Like-
it's a constant.
It's just
like time.
concepts.
Yeah.
It's concepts like where was Juju Smith-Schuster all year?
All year.
Like here he was an RPO right down the middle of the
Right.
field.
Yeah.
Hollywood Brown.
I know.
He was
Come
kinda-
in,
yeah,
start
breaks his
cleaning.
collarbone September 14th, comes back. He's kind of like, all right, is he around? Like when your utility guy is DeAndre Hopkins,
Yeah.
you're in a good spot.
You're in a good
Yeah.
spot.
You're in a good spot.
Hell yeah.
Just for DeAndre, if the ball's thrown, just make sure you catch it.
Well,
Yeah.
You know, like that's all he's got
We
to do.
don't need you to get yacked.
No.
Yeah, he ain't getting
And
that.
he's gonna get. He understands the soft points of his
Yeah,
zone
but
defense.
zone
He still has the
defense is-
ability to beat guys in man
Yep.
coverage. Like
Gonna catch the ball for sure.
yes,
He's gonna
and
catch
hey, look
it.
for Travis Kelce to have a big game. He will have a touchdown in the Super Bowl.
I mean, you made that bet last week.
Hey,
Well,
it didn't hit,
perfect-
but I
this
meant it the week
perfect- This is
before.
perfect timing to get into our big game MVP brought to us by DraftKings. This matchup for Super Bowl 59 is set. The clock is ticking.
we can say it.
To get your picks in, I've already locked in a few prop bets of my favorite, only on the sportsbook I use. My partner at DraftKings Sportsbook right now. New customers will get $200 in bonus bets instantly after betting just $5. Fade or follow all your favorite Barstool personalities picks in the Barstool betting group on DraftKings Sportsbook app. Check out the special under Super Bowl 59 markets exclusively on DraftKings. Use code LOCKER at sign up. That is code LOCKER. The crown is yours. So, fellas, Super Bowl MVP.
I'm going Eagles, so I'm gonna have to go with Jalen.
You going Jalen? See, I'm going Eagles, but I'm going Saquon.
I would have said
Saquon.
Saquon, but I think
It's got to
quarterback.
be if the Eagles win, it's going to be because of Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
You think so,
got
right?
to.
He's going to
You
have
would
at least
think so.
120.
You would think so.
Buddy, he's gonna rush for one
2
Yeah.
plus
150.
touchdowns.
I know, but Jalen the quarterback. So sometimes I just feel like the quarterback always.
I think
get that big.
I wouldn't surprise me if Saquon just take a screen and just take it to the house. Like
Yeah.
just little things. Like you get him in the open field right now. He's just making every right cut, every right move. And nobody can catch him. This is the first time really in his whole career he's been healthy start to finish. He hadn't been nicked up by anything. Like he gets 2 weeks to
you
rest.
saw him-
No,
saw
he
him
was
with the
nicked
Thera
up a
gun on
little
that
bit.
calf.
Yeah, he was
After
hurt
the
his
first
calf.
couple of drives, he saw him with the Thera
Yeah,
gun.
what
what
he
is
took
that?
on that
Is that
block.
like just a cramp? What was that?
No, that's
Because it did look like it slowed down.
When he took
No,
that
no,
block
no,
You
I
off,
got
think
a strain,
he
bro.
took that
It's
block
your-
in the middle.
You
and
can't run that well.
I'm not saying I'm not a doctor. Will I'm not out here saying he has an actual strain. I'm saying he's at the Thera gun after one drive. Something's obviously bothering him in the calf.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's
But he's
not.
got
It's
2
not
weeks.
too
I
bad.
saw him
'cause
on a
he's running
bicycle
back.
too. I saw him on a bicycle. Were you
Yeah.
pedaling a bicycle yesterday?
Yeah, he was on the bike. He was on the
warming up. He
bike
trying to warm that
Just
shit
sit
up.
up.
after
All
a
right.
60-yard run.
He's got 2
Well,
weeks.
no, it was after he took on that block in the middle, and then that's when he went out and started messing with his calf. He picked up that blitz where he bodied him. Did you not
Bobby
see?
Wagner?
Yeah, he bodied him.
I posted
Yeah,
that picture.
hey,
I
threw in the
posted
the
that
back
picture.
of the
Wags
left
hit
side
me
of
up.
the line.
Wags
your
was
bitch ass
pissed
down
that I
there.
posted that. He like, "Mate, you didn't mention that the guard freaking shoved me too, boy."
Yeah.
Hey, Wags.
I know.
Hey, he hit you up too. He set me up as well on a list where I did the top 5 linebackers.
You didn't put him on?
Oh, he might have
Yeah,
been 4th or 5th,
Yeah.
or maybe not.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking like, yeah, bro. I mean, Jesus, there's so
No,
many
but they
good
all
fucking
take that.
linebackers.
They take it personally.
They
take it personally. That's all right.
So you're on Jalen, Saquon.
I'm taking Saquon.
All right, I'll take obviously the Pat Mahomes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's exciting. Chiefs win. You take Pat MVP.
If the Chiefs win,
If Chiefs win, yeah, I'd say Pat's the MVP.
Well, is there anybody else that you think, they could take the MVP? Because I don't think there's going to be one receiver that.
Travis.
Travis, if he have a hell of a game, Travis definitely.
Or Chris Jones. Well, why not
No.
get a defender in there?
I see Chris Jones doing it.
I don't
Nick
see
Bolton.
that happening.
Yeah,
Von Miller.
You can
Super
get a
Bowl 50.
defender.
Yeah, but did you see how many sacks that man had? He
Well, he just
won
closed the game out.
He closed the game out there. Yeah, that was in a great fashion. I mean, you're gonna win it when you do
Yeah.
something like that.
I hope we get Cam Newton for an interview in the Super Bowl because I'd love to talk about him not diving on that fumble.
Ooh.
He talk about it all the time.
I know,
that
but I
he,
just
What did he
love
say?
the-
What did he say
about
about
to
it?
get hurt or break his hand or something like
Dog,
that?
it's the Super Bowl.
I know.
You got to be able to go out.
I mean, I thought they lost the game on that play.
What are you
Yeah,
talking
they did
about?
lose the game
He
on
lost
that
the play on that.
He's like,
he
I'm
lost the
not
game on
about to
that
break my hand.
Just brutal.
Yeah.
Just brutal. All right, we feel good. We got to jump on the bus right now.
Yeah, big hugs, tiny kisses. Comment.
Subscribe.
Hey.
Good luck.